You can't even hear me. Couldn't even hear me the entire time. Sorry. Forgot that I muted it. Let's not do that. 260. How about that? 26. Yanni! You can't even hear me. Couldn't even hear me the entire time. Sorry. Okay. It's gonna take a second. It did not like 5,000 bit rate, Craig, or are we shocked? Oh my god, we're just dropping 1,000. Maybe it'll catch up. I don't know. That's the plan. Is maybe it'll catch up. Hey, hey, Yanni. Actually, like, it's not bad though. Despite the fact that it's like bad, like it's stuttery and everything, and now we got a really bad delay. It's not terrible. You are fast as you are fast as fuck, boy. Ooh. All right, we're going back into yellow. It just might take a second. Again, I'm gonna keep moving because I'm just so static. What? Oh, my goddamn audio. It likes to. Well, it's my fiance. He unplugs my headphones every day. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're done with this. Good. Be mad at me. What do you want? Goose. It's gonna take a second. You don't want fruit. Do you want Link? What sounds good, kid? Cereal? There, game audio. Yeah. We don't have Crabberry Goons. I was doing the 5,000. It didn't like it, so now I'm back to the 2,600. Just to make it easier. Yeah, alright, it's way better. No, it's not. Here, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, now I'm answering you now. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Alright. I might have to immediately go make her something to eat. Yeah, I switched it just to be like I'm not gonna risk it right now. All right, yeah, refresh, brother. Yeah, but at least I can still stream at 1080p. Okay. Yeah, what do you want, kid? Is the refresh any better? Oh my god, his little yawns. It is. Okay, refreshing helps out a lot. Honk. Did you decide what you wanted to eat, honey? Cereal? Okay. Do you want milk? Okay. Yeah, not bad at all. All right, talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back. I need to add the fishing thing back to this. I don't know, man. Oh, sorry, sick. I'm sick. Be right back, okay? Do you want milk in it? Hello? Yeah. Okay. But not a lot. Okay. All right, you guys sit up and eat this, okay? And watch your little show. Hose Krager. Hose. Yeah, alright, we're good, we're good. Not bad at all. Not bad. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. I did some little bit of cleaning. Fire! Hey, there you are. Hi. Do it. Take some time. No, I'm not the one to advocate. I have 2 days left of sick time. Alright. Everything good, though, audio-wise? Is everything fine? We're about to enter us. I kind of remember this part of the game, and it was super fun. I'm going to turn down sound alerts because some of them are kind of loud. Twitch hype train, maybe. Oh, but this music, this reminds me of Twilight Princess. I know it's not Twilight Princess. Okay. I don't think in-game time matters much. Hold on, I want the chat on my screen. Oh my god, you are smart and kind, important, and phenomenal, super, and iconic. Shipping off your fridge merch. You have merch now. Fire has merch, everybody. How cool is that? Oh my god, that's so fun. What is this? Aha, dockable. First. I just assumed that it was something I didn't understand. my fridge merch. Sorry, I'm adding. Oops. Uh-oh, that's tweaking with the game. My bad. Thought I wasn't cool enough to understand. Whoa. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, I'll stop messing with it. You as well. Come over here. Hopefully that's not messing with anything horrible. It is. It's dropping frames. Okay, sorry about it. I'm taking out the activity feed in the chat. Okay. Check. Where am I? Alright, anyway, so far we've dropped 2,359 frames. Alright, anyway, where are we going? No. How loud? Me too. Autocorrect. Sorry, excuse me. Not that far. That's so funny. Oh, gee, my Christ. So what was that for? Your sword landed all the way up there? Shoot, I'm sorry. I apologize. I guess my aim was off by a little. So now I have to creep through here. Huh? Oh, yeah, I slipped this stone into your pocket just before we fired you over here. It's no ordinary stone. I forgot about this. I can see what you're doing through this stone. Obviously, you can hear me through it, so if you can see it, you better press that button. Thanks for never getting rid of, like, the little fairy. Little fairy side, like, companion. I'll put the stone on your quest screen. Press start and use L and R to scroll around. It's pretty basic. But hey, listen carefully. But hey, listen. I need this back after you save your sister, so don't go losing it, okay? Okay. Wally. Let me put this on, right? Yeah. That's what I'd say too. I'm like, I totally would take time. Alright, where do we want to go first? I'm guessing over to that, let's get money, obviously. Thank you! I used to have a little sound saying, thank you, like a beetle. Next, yeah, that's exactly how I think too. But thank you for the follow. They are anonymous. I know who you are, but if you want to say hi, you can. You don't have to, though. I know who you are. What I meant by that is I can see it on my screen. Yeah, that's always how I am too. I'm like, oh, but I could save it for like next week when it's like nice and like nice outside. Actually, is my webcam too big compared to the game? No, I mean I had to do it that way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Gmail. Hey. Double digits next week. Oh yeah, because you speak in Celsius. Can I climb this? No. It has been a minute. How are you? I started in a different game. I just flipped it. Yeah, I just flipped it. But I was thinking if it's too much of the screen. Lurker usually, but this is your favorite game? That's awesome. Well, thank you, and I appreciate the lurk. I appreciate the follow, and yeah, thanks for being here. Hi, Becca! If you want to go back, Emmy Lou, to lurking, you totally can. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know where to go. Oh, okay. Good, right here. But yeah, I was thinking, like, cutting off this much of the screen. But this is all that I can with the game. You got paid? That's freaking great. That's what it's all about. Okay, are there bats above me? I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. So yeah, it's kind of my first playthrough of this game. I say kind of. I've never finished it. Made it to like the first big temple, I guess. Hi! Is that a real plant in the back? What plant? No. Yeah. So this is where that's where I am. Is that little squiggle on the map? Is that a real plant in the back, Gregor? No, I got this from Amazon. Yeah, they're just little, like, fake vines. Okay, so now we're here. Okay, good. Okay, I don't have, Okay. Rude. A little leap. That sounds like a little sheep. Oh, now I need hearts. Yeah, thanks. Is it anything good? Tell me something good. Okay, so another map. Okay, now we're here. God, there's enemies everywhere. Oh, okay. You don't own anything, actually. Oh, nothing. 50? If you do it by 10, you get a free premiere ball, by the way. Sorry, I wasn't thinking when I came this way. So these guys are moblins? These are what the moblins used to... Hi, Dottie! Oh my gosh, Dottie, hi! Hello, sweetheart. Premiere balls, I don't know what they fucking are, dude. Ah! Was not me. Caught me on fire. Okay, sorry, that was my fault anyway. What happens here? I just gotta, get back out. Perhaps through the door. Sidle? What did that say? Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, that does look like a super fun. I thought about maybe trying to play it too. I just don't think I have any knowledge like that, honestly. You never finished Wind Waker, but you used to... I know, I've started it a bunch. Okay, girl. I feel like I can... Oh, yes. Are you planning on spending the rest of your life in there? Look around. I'd be surprised if a run-down cell like that didn't have a hole or two you could use to worm your way out of. I was thinking I moved this, but... Oh! That's yeah, I like that everything seemed to be Romania or Spain or so you told me to look. Yeah, I would think up here, right? My bad. I don't think I've ever got caught before. Hi, Juan. How are you? Hola. Oh. Haha. Human climate Asian, but English writing is that's pretty good actually. Okay, good. And we're out. Yeah, I don't think I ever got caught before doing this part. And we're back out. Where are we, though, actually? Wait, oh, okay, I'm actually just straight up outside. Okay, good. Oh, cute. We're up here. Oh, okay, so hey, that's not bad. I get a little chest. The abrupt... You got the dungeon map. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's great. When in doubt, Argentina. Flashing area is your current location. Tilt to view other floors. Okay. Not that I don't have faith that I can't make it across here, but... Oh, phew. Okay, there's a wall to stop me. So now we got 2 doors. Interesting. Oh my gosh, and comrade! Yeah, very fun stealth section. I already got cut, but it's okay. I got a map out of it. So now we're over here, though. Huh. Uh-oh. A little bit choppy. I know. Hopefully he's sleeping. Actually, I hope he is. I got scared all of a sudden. I got really scared all of a sudden because I think he left a really, really nice message in the grieving section of the Discord. And now I'm worried. That just made me, like, really, really worried that, I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything. But it made me scared for a second. You know, he ain't sleeping. That's one thing that's for sure. One thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. That man ain't sleeping. But I hope he's okay. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's showing me where I'm getting, if I'm getting closer. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I just got nervous thinking about that. I was like, I remember using a guide with this because I feel like there's chests and stuff. I want to grab everything. This is why I'm such a busy. Fuck, you scared the heck out of me. I'm glad that you're here. Are you doing okay? I love you. How are you? Ignore the bit of a delay. You might have to get in and get out. Jesus Christ. How are you? Just make sure you're here. Ain't no thing, ain't no thing. we were like, hey man, Busy's not here yet. I fear I missed something already. The Bizmeister. Can I go back to the beginning, actually? Yeah, I haven't gone up any of these at all. Payday. I liked getting paid on Thursdays. Now, what bank I go through, I get paid on Fridays. Lame. Well, Thursdays at, like, 10. What's the rumbling? Yeah, I'm not going up anything. Oh, gosh. I'm not exploring well. Oh, you guys are gonna gnome? You guys gonna play gnomes? Rough morning. That's okay. That's what I figured. You're okay. Don't worry about it, Fizzy. That's why I got scared. Fucking thank you for reminding me what the point of a compass is. I totally forgot what a compass was for. How the hell do I open up this? How do I open it? I never knew what a compass did, to be honest with you, so. Okay. I want to start at the beginning. I remember, yeah, it's good to fall down here and get some stuff, but... Okay, good. I fell down here. I didn't mean to, actually. Oh, what was that? Because, what do you mean, why scared? You know... Up arrow. Oh, thank you. So this is where I am now. I want to go to this way. Oh, yeah. Hi. I got caught going this way. Oh my god, you were on a 7 watch streak, comrade. That's... Hey, look, I fixed it. I got it so that now it tells me. OMG, comrade is on a 7. Stream streak. Thank you so much. And then I have to delete that one. I love that. Yeah, I set up one through I set them both up through StreamerBot. So I'm glad I figured out how to get that one to work finally. You have to add all this like grab user target and user information, and then % watch capital S streak %. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, we made it. Oh, wait, damn it, I'm going the wrong motherfucking way. You think you think I'd look at a map, maybe? I want to go the other way. Okay, well, we'll just make it all the way over here to this other chest. I'm sure I'll go back somehow. How do I fight any of these things? I don't have anything. Because I wanted it to, yeah, say the amount. Because it doesn't say it. Oops, I threw that. Oh, good, there's stuff in here. I am basically exploring at this point, yeah. Not, Yo, Jimbo! Jimbo is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he needs to. Sorry to cough right on you. I'm, like, getting worse, sick-wise. Okay, we made it to the bunkies. Big old shit. What the heck? What in the world? Thanks. Can I? I'll try. Have you ever played this game before? Yes, thank you. Oh, this gave me rubies. All right. You've never played? I'm sure you know what? I didn't even think to, like, yeah, throw some stuff at the enemies. That's such a good idea. I should get some OJ. Oh, I should have bought OJ. It's just I never finished drinking it. Oh. All right, hold on. Look this way. I want to see if there's anything across. There is some money, but I mean, that's fine. Whoa, God. I looked down for a second. Whoa, he skids too. I kind of think Toon Link, right? Is this the Toon Link? He's kind of cute. He really is. Okay, so we got a door. We also got another door. Oh, wow, dude. Should I jump across or should I go back this way? I don't know. I know, I'm so sorry, but the way it sounded when it broke sounded pretty cheap to me, in my opinion. Hold on, I want to see what's this way first. Where is it at on the map? Yeah. I feel like I could make it over here. I can make it over here. I should get a thing, like a thing that, like, knights you. Like a screen animation that takes your emote, your profile picture, and then it puts a little sword like this. You get knighted every time you come into stream. Oh, big old box. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's what I've always been saying. Okay, so I do want to go this way? Well, fuck. She sounds like Midna. I got it, Squink. In order to reach the top of the tower where your sister's being held, you have to find the room right below the tower. The path below begins in the rear of that room. You got that? I want to go back. Am I all the way down here now? Oh, whoops. One man's trash is trash, and that man is the trash man. What you want? Oh, a ladder somewhere? Yeah, a ladder or something. Oh, that's from Always Sunny. I feel like I do something with that, but I don't know what. Is this where I need to go? There are stairs the other way. Oh, I feel like this is progressing. I want to, like, explore more. There are stairs in the other way. Nice, I think. Okay, I'll go back. I'll come back here. I don't know if I can explore after we save her. I think we have to immediately leave. Yeah. All right, so stop. I can turn. No. Oh, okay. I don't either. Just getting abducted, I think. All right, but now, yeah, I want to turn. Swinging real weird. Yeah, I don't know how to maneuver on that thing. I don't know how to maneuver on that thing. Let's go back this way. So, I'm back up. A Gothita. I think I got the Gothica. No, not Gothica. That's a movie with Halle Berry, I think. You think I can hit the gargoyles? Oh, there's a door out there. What door does that lead to? God damn it. There's too many options. I want a clear-cut way of where to go. Oh, whoa. That makes sense why there's all that stuff up there. I guess I'll try it. Okay, I missed. I see. I will try over here though. That's so annoying. Love when it works out like that. For this, I am sad. Okay, no. I should see what that door is. Pokelp. Pokelp. Loyalty points. Loyalty level 34. Next goal increase. I see. You need to get a level 2. I don't know what I am. I'll have to check again. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Curious about this door. Sorry. Please don't hurt me. This is hurting me. You need more rocks in your life. Don't we all? Alright, so now I'm just out here. Poke Store is a great one. Do you need Poke Shop? So wait, where did my sword land? I think that's the first order of business, is getting my sword back before anything else. Poke Shop, Pokeball. Dork. I'm gonna get out and get back into my stream. So again, that tends to fix any sort of like a delay that there may be. Yeah, there you go. And you can add a certain number at the end for however many you want to buy. Ow! Okay, so back this way, even though I think so that's the way to go. Hopefully I can get back this way. Yes, Jimbo. Are you an woo girl? Gmail? Yes. Listen up, Squink. There's a monster running the searchlight up there. If you slay that monster, then just maybe it'll shut down the searchlight. Right. You're a team. Ow. But you're unarmed. All you have is a shield. If I were you, I'd try to use my shield to deflect the monster's blow. That sounds like this is going to work out great. Uh-oh. What's happening? Okay, I think we're back. Sorry, some dropped frames. Apparently, if I were you, I'd use my shield to deflect the monster's blow and see if I could make it drop its weapon. If you did that, you could pick up its weapon with A. But that's just me. What'll you do? I don't know. Where's my shield? Weapon theft, let's go! Girl, I don't remember how to use my shield. I don't think I ever learned how to use my shield, actually. Okay, well, it's back in the green. It's just gonna... I guess that's the cool thing about OBS, I think, is that I don't know. I guess, I don't know. Oh, you? Here? What the heck is my, my weapon? While holding your sword, I don't have a sword. Press R to defend yourself. 'Tis crouching is what I do. Aha, there we are. I parry thee. No, no, oh yeah, we keep him away from it. My turn. Oh, this is so good. I love this music. It's so good. Hey, bruv, I don't know what you want me to do. Yeah. Wow, that was sick. Oh, hey, bitch. Over here. Oh, I dropped it. Sorry, can you wait a second? Oh, fuck, I threw it. What? Yeah. Sorry, oh god, I just keep dropping it. Ah, swing is the button. My bad, I was throwing it. Took me a second, brother, but... You're hitting a child. Fuck! Jump, fuck! And I wanted to put up my shield, but I kept pressing R, just drops it instead. Hey. Gosh, I bet you feel silly now. I got a necklace from him. Got a joy pendant. You keep it in your spoils bag. Again, I need to tweak with stream elements. You don't need to be doing all this. Nice. Alright, and... How did I get up here? I came out a door, right? Yes, spotlights are done. Yes. Okay, so that's the plan here. I guess it is kind of, yeah, it all does kind of go together. I was really hoping they were different, though. Which way did I come from? Okay, so I'm gonna go this side. Any hearts? I'll be fine. Oh, no. Oh, this one has the big mean bird. Yeah, this music is Twilight Princess-y. All right, girl. Here we go. I love it. Yeah. You done? Yeah. And a heart, just what I needed. So that is taken care of. Okay. That bird's there, though. So, and now I need to get to this one. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Whee! Oh, ooh. Hold on, wait, is there another one over there, too? How do I get to that one? I don't think I can jump down. Maybe that's what the box is for, isn't it? I remember having to use the box to climb up something. I hope this bird doesn't attack me. No. Alright, hold on, let me look again. So I need to get to you. Right? I can't climb that. Hi, Craig. Yeah, man, if you got the time, take it off. Take off your work day, man. You understand me, man? I'm glad that I finally learned what the, compass is for. Okay, so I'm back here now. I don't need any hearts. We're good. I kind of want to get down here. See what's down here? Ow. Oh, whoa, what? Ow! What the fricky? Wait till, oh yeah, next week, that's totally fair. Nice weather. Oh, God! I want to turn around. I keep... No, in front of you, son. The heck were those? It's been a real snoozer, I'm sorry. Woo! Again, a blessing and a curse those days are. I actually just started my washer. So, ahead of you. It's easy to forget. Don't beat yourself up. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I need to get back to where that block was. I feel like I could use it for something. Hold on. The New Zealand Survivor on YouTube all morning. Have you? How do I bring up the map again? They ain't? Are they all nice and, like, kind to each other? Saying nice things? Like, I don't want to vote them off. I love everyone. Alright, where are we, girl? This is where I came in at. Yeah, I love that you love the emotes again. Great. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, hey, at least I'm down here. What's up, hero? How are you? There we go. Okay, so map. I want to go this way. No. Fuck, I want to go this way. That's alright. Don't worry about it, Dottie. You're good. You're good. Is that loud? I can't hear it. Alright, so there's an enemy in here. I'm trying to figure out how do I get up. Oh no, there's just a door. Alright, bye. Ah! Yeah, it probably would have been helpful. I can't hear them. Like OBS, I have to monitor it, and I haven't set that up yet. Truly. That would have been nice. So far I've shut off 2 Okay, well so far I've shut off 2 of these I don't know, do you know where I'm at technically on the map? Well damn. Yeah, getting caught's the best. It puts you up high. Hi, Addie. Again, if there's a delay for you, get out and get back in. That seems to fix it. Sorry, my internet sucks. Oh my god. Well, that's just a what? A 5, a 10? Oh, no problem. Oh yeah. I still need to, I want to get to this one. Getting caught gets you high. That's exactly what happens. No one wants to talk about it, but I will. So I still don't really understand this map. I kind of do. Where are we again? We're on the 2nd floor. No, I did not. Where is that? Why is it so freaking bad, dude? Oh my goodness. Okay, it's back again. From this room, drop down.
Nice.
Aww, Gayanetta. Gmail, hey, thanks. That's really, really nice of you to do that. I appreciate that a lot, thanks. That's very nice. I like that, Gayanetta. Okay, so drop down here. I appreciate that. That's so kind. Oh. So again, I appreciate people who I know are struggling, right? Maybe financially, maybe just in general. Oh. That is a good name. I like that. Oh, Christ. Oh, they took my money. Okay, sorry. There's a button behind the barrels. That's why it's like I appreciate Fizzy doing that. He never has to, but he always does, and he's very, very nice of him. Oh, there is a freaking button, dude. You're right. Damn it. Good. All right. Have fun. You can single-handedly get more emotes in this chat. Yay! That's all I love to do too. I love getting emotes. I love buying emotes. So this is a win-win for all of us. I appreciate that so much, Fizzy. I want to say thank you again for your message. Was very, very kind. I was gonna respond back, but I didn't know if I should keep that as like a non-responsive, like a non-respond thing. That whole section of the Discord. That's very, very nice of you to say that. It's very, very nice. So thanks, hey, thanks for telling me about that. I don't know if I would have eventually dropped down there on my own or not. Maybe on accident. Fuck off, please. Okay, so now where are we? Nice, so that's that chest. It's going in jail to get upstairs quickly. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, well, good luck. I got it. I know. Oh, whoa. I feel like my camera looks funny. I know it doesn't matter. But, like, it looks like it's slightly off. I don't know if it's because I have it at a weird angle. And you're seeing parts of the room, maybe? Am I sideways? Yeah. So I'll show you. Sorry, I keep thinking I can just. I appreciate that a lot. That's really, really nice. Again, I've never really been that for people. What, my sneaky? One of them is necessary. I think it's the one that it shines down. Let me see. All right, so we'll go back outside. Oh yeah, I could have answered you through direct message. That makes sense. All right, so let's see what we got. No, this just shows me out back. One that shines on the far wall. If it shines in the courtyard, you don't need to deal with it. Okay. I think I need to deal with that one, right? Oh, that's really nice. Oh, that's sweet. I guess I do get told a lot that, like, I don't know. Oh, that's so kind. That's very freaking nice. You're very sweet, Fizzy. Damn it. I want to go the other way. Oh. I noticed it drops frames. Sorry to talk about it. It drops frames when I refresh my stream. I thought for a second, I was like, hey, maybe it's streamer bot having to actually send out stuff, so it's like tweaking with my stuff. Maybe that's dropping frames. Oh, hey, there's a ladder over here. But I don't know if that's true. I do. I appreciate that. Wait, fuck. I was good? Wait, no. You're good, actually. You want to wrap around the place the other way. I don't know. We'll see if this is... I've already been here. Let me see if I can help you understand where I'm at. So this one I need to take care of. This in? Trying to see if I can make sense of, like, anything. I want to get into the room underneath her. Oh, motherfucker! I need to drop that. Hold on, I don't think I've been over there. I've already done it. Okay, that's great to know. I'm gonna jump down here. Is that okay? Let me look again. Down the stairs. Can I go through that door? Okay. So usually this delay is gonna get me. Oh, could I have jumped on the wall? Fuck, well. Then wrap around to place, say upstairs. Did I fuck up? Did I done goof? It's alright, I'll just get back up there somehow. It wasn't that hard. Okay. But stay upstairs, so don't go downstairs. Gotcha. Unless you mean up here. No. I don't like that I can't open the map sometimes. Wrap around the place counterclockwise. Hold on, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Counterclockwise. Counter. Yeah, yeah. The clock goes that way. This way, technically, if you're looking at me. Alright, don't fall. They will steal your money. Oh my god. Yo, what are they saying to me? Fuck. Brecky, I mean, sorry. What are these little guys? Okay, good. They forgot about me. Okay, I'm gonna reset the room. Oh my god. You're full? That's great, honey. Don't worry about it. Okay. Why does it start swinging? Woo! Alright, now we out here. Let's see if there's anything. What about that box, though? That's just a quick, easy way to get back up. Aha, I think we are going to the box. It's okay. So my sword, though, I don't remember. Obviously, I have to be, like, getting to it. It is a little... Busy! Aww, Busy! Dottie, you got a sub. Busy, tell me before you do that I have a 35% off thing. Oh, that's so kind. Oh my gosh, towards level 3, dude, Mac, hi. I've only ever had a level 1, and then we end on level 2 with a 0. That's so nice of you. Oh, I appreciate you so much, Fizzy. I really do. You're so kind. What? I guess you're right. What were you saying? Make you a 10. Honey, I just got a hype train level 2. Oh, don't worry about it, Dottie. Again, sometimes people don't have money for stuff, and that's okay. Here, I gotta make a tent very quickly. Oh, get your mothball, Dottie. Aw, Mac, you missed it. Fizzy's being sweet. Gmail also gifted a sub. That's so nice. What emotes are we get? Unlock now. Spill the tea. That's a serve. Who's this diva? Oh, I can gift a sub myself. Oh, that's so nice. So you want a tent, kid? Here, hold on. Let's move your Mac. I'm plugging stuff. Making on everything. We're stuck. What? Sorry. There we go. All right, I made a little tent. You can kind of see it. It's a Hello Kitty tent. Oh, wait, hold on. Are you saying nice things? Give me a second. Oh my god, you're so freaking nice, Fizzy. Sorry if I'm hitting the table or stuff. Let's turn up the heat a tiny bit. Yeah, my camera feels funky. Sorry. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Well, yeah, if I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise. You got me there. All right, fair. Fair enough. Oh, my ashy little elbows. It's like the only disadvantage with being black is these ashy little... My legs are like this too, by the way. Oh! Try to actively watch any watch my VOD since I stream so early. I know, that's so freaking nice, Dottie. That's so nice. I don't know if I said this out loud. I was watching your playthrough of Echoes of Wisdom, because I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know if I want to play that game personally. Though but it looks fun, and you're figuring stuff out, and I'm like, wow, that was really smart of you to do that. Yeah, one day, I think last week, I couldn't find the remote, and it started auto-playing them all, and I think I went through, like, 7 of your VODs. Because, like, I was like, oh, might as well, I'm here. Ooh, yummy tea. Yeah, excuse my scratchy throat. I've gotten, like, I just keep getting sicker, bro. That's so freaking nice, bro. At least you don't look like a pack of toilet paper like me. Is that an emote or just an emoji? Oh my god. Wait, what? A roll of paper emoji objects. How'd you get that? Is that a person's emotes? Uh-oh. Dropped frames. Just, I don't know. And I promise anyone who gets gifted a sub or maybe thinks about subbing, I promise this will get fixed, okay? It's just the way that this is right now. Is my internet stupid right now? Oh, you missed one VOD. Stream. That's okay. That's totally okay. I like those two. Are those yours or whose are those? Those are yours. It's fun to play currently. Yeah, just get more hearts and other things. Yay, hype train success. We got some stuff. Good old Apple emojis. Oh. Choo choo. Oh, we got the dog. What's this? I got this too. How cool. Super fun. Thanks. Thanks, Fizzy. Thanks, Gmail. That was very nice. How do I get out of it? Yay, very exciting, Dottie. Dottie is posting all of her VODs to YouTube, and she also streams. I need to make a shout out for you. A choo-choo! Okay, back across. Right? Where am I going? Oh, you were gone. You went on a trip. That's very nice to do. That's super fun. I hope you had a good time. Welcome back. Okay, keep going this way. Praise be, I don't fall. I'm not in the mood to fall. I have to be honest, I'm not in the mood to fall. I know. Oh, there we go. I know that was good timing. Yeah, and you got all of those? Okay, so here's the box. There we go. Poor Angela. Oh my god, I was gonna say, really? That's so fun. Welcome back, Addie. Do you feel refreshed? Do you feel clean? I need to wash my face. Game's going well. I'm in the same area. I want to push this. But yeah, it's been fun. Grab. There. It's a different button. Alright, so that's how we get back up. Oh. Now, do I want to get down? Get down? Nice, very nice. What did I ask? I don't want to get down. I want to get back up here. Stay up here. I pushed it. Aha, so now we're over here. Okay, big door. This is so nice. How nice. Should be able to easily make it up here unless y'all rat me out. Nice. Nice. I came out the other side. You've been before. That's so funny. You went to buy a new shirt. That's so funny. I was just thinking about rewatching the Twilight movies again. They're so much fun. It was fun being able to see them in theaters as they came out, actually, and read the books before. Cake. Alright, alright. I've already been here, though. Addie! It was 6 and now it's 7. 6, 7. Look, I made it so that it now says in the chat, 7 stream streak. I'll wait for you. Alright, which way do we want to go? I'm gonna go that way. Yeah, I don't think I can go to that way. I am drinking tea. I am drinking tea. I need to go get some more. Maybe when the ad is actually running. If it actually does run, I'll go. I feel like my throat got worse, though. Super! Hi! It's your favorite Zelda game? Yay! I'm doing a disservice to it. But I'm having fun. Yeah, the Twilight... Yeah, the Twilight series is so much fun. It's especially fun to go back now as an adult and watch them. I just... Every single time I forget who I am... What team I'm on. If I'm Team Jacob or Team Edward, I don't know. Oh, yeah, add honey. That's such a good idea. I'll add some honey. Mother of Christ, did I mess up by doing this? It's not terrible. It's not bad. I'm just not. Oh my gosh, maybe because I'm using my voice for streaming. I guess that might make sense. That could be it. All right. Not this way where we're the fricky. That's okay. Here, I'm gonna push this though. So back up. Yeah, all right, I'll go get some tea. If there's not actually an ad playing, sorry. There are some difficult parts, but mostly, yeah, exactly. It's pretty chill. It really is. My only issue with why I haven't finished this game yet is, 1, I don't finish games. But, 2... Oh! But 2, I just go back and forth between all these different games at the same exact time. Chat will be right back. Bugs will be right back after these messages. Yes, good time to go get some tea. Alright, I'll be right back. I don't have fishing anymore on this screen. I couldn't get the overlay to copy from Stream Elements. Sorry if I hit you there. I will be right back. Okay, sorry. It kicked me out of my stream. Did it kick anyone else out? Stops working for you a few hours for some reason. They need to relaunch it. Oh, that is annoying. I like that. Yeah, I like that fish game that you guys got. I'm using a different one, but I sat here being like, "Oh, you're so an agile. You're an agile." Irradiated cod, huge swordfish. Oh, hi, Dottie. Let me see. I'll be sassy if I want. I'm looking out for you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Could you hear? Was there a double audio at all at any point? I accidentally had this on, my sound on. Oh, rare sea bass. Someone needs to catch trash for it to be realistic. A huge seahorse. That's so cute. I don't like tea. I don't like honey. Because my fishing game isn't working back. Also, yeah, I was like, oh, but it's $7 on Steam to buy that fishing game, the something bait game, whatever it is. Welcome back, Silver. And I spent like $12. Sorry, hold on. I spent $12 on that one from Etsy, so I could totally buy that one on Steam. Okay. My guy. Okay, so not this way. Yeah, it will help a little bit. I just don't think it tastes like how... Honey doesn't taste how I want it to taste. Does that make sense? So, not this way? Oh. Oh, that's such a good sound. What's the matter? The room to your sister's just up ahead. Look carefully at the tower wall. Isn't there a narrow ledge you can cross? Face the wall and... Oh. Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you. Oh, that sucks, dude. Yeah, especially when you spend money on it. But I mean, I guess it's just like something that like someone made, right? It's not like a huge company made this little fishing game. Climb across a tiny ledge. Okay, my bad. Sorry. I was like, I don't go this way. Oh. That is so good. Oh my gosh. I bought Wind Waker for the very first time. Oh, dude, you're okay. You might have to... You're gonna have to back out and get back in. It keeps dropping frames. I'm just having internet issues right now. Something gonna hit me. But, so I was on YouTube. And I dropped into the middle of a Game Grumps playthrough of this. Like, part, like, I don't know, 47. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll play this game. I didn't watch them play it, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll play it. Blah, blah, blah. Do I want to jump down at all? Uh-huh. I feel like I kind of want to get down here. Yeah, launching it seems to get it working again. Yeah, I know. I'm using OBS actually today. Stay going. Oh, okay, my sword's here. Oh, he saw. I saw that in the ground. I was curious. Should I jump down or what? Ooh, right on the spikes. How do you feel? Sorry. Alright, easy. Uh-oh, we're dropping frames again. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, we made it. Ew, there's other kids here. I love his face. Wait, what? We've dropped 6,000 frames. Oh, Christ. Ganon. I know, they're so good. Look at his face again. Wow. I forgot about that. What? They just threw us back in the water, so... At least we got our sword. It's the big boy of the hour. He got yeeted. Squink. Squink. Wake up, Squink. Pull yourself together, Squink. Well, have you come to your senses yet? Jeez! It does sound like a slur. Ignore it, I'm sorry. You're surprisingly dull-witted. Did I startle you? The talking boat? What's that sound? Is that you, Riley? I suppose it's only natural. As wide as the world is, I am the only boat upon it who can speak the words of men. I am the king of the Red Lions. Do not fear me, I am not your enemy. Ah, Twink is a good idea next time. I've been watching you since you went to the Forsaken Fortress to rescue your sister. Sounds like someone's struggling to say Twink. I understand how your desire to protect your sister could help give you the courage to fiercely stand up to anything. But such a bold attempt was foolhardy. I suppose you saw him. The shadow. The shape. Michael Myers. Commands the monstrous bird. His name is... Ganon. He who obtained the power of the gods attempted to cover the land in darkness. Is it bothering you? I may have thrown them away when I was cleaning out the medicine closet. He was ultimately sealed away by the very power he hoped to command. Good, bitch. Also, sorry, by going back and watching my own VOD, I realized that, it straight up tells you that this is after, Ocarina of Time. The winds broke him free, and he came back out. The power of the Emperor of the Dark Realm, the ancient legends speak of. God, my... I do not know why the seal of the gods has failed, but Ganon has returned. The world is once again being threatened by his evil magic. Tell me, Squink, do you still wish to save your sister from him? No. And will you do anything to save her? It makes sense why he's kidnapping the girls with the ears, because he's probably looking for Zelda. And will you do anything to save her? Because then Link's gonna come in and, like, try to save her. And then he'll have all the Triforce pieces. I see. In that case, I shall guide you as we go forward, advising you on what you should do and where you must go. Ganon cannot be defeated by human hands, let alone by the little strength he possessed. Oh, that's so mean. The key to defeating him is locked away in a great power that you can wield only after much toil and hardship. You understand? I'll be honest, I don't really understand. In that case, we depart to the Great Sea. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Embarrassing. Oh, he doesn't have a sail. I brought you to the far east of the dark caves of the Forsaken Fortress. On this island is a town of merchants who deal in a wide variety of goods. If you search hard enough, surely you can find one who will sell you a sail. I'm sorry to ask this of you, but without a sail, I am useless. Girl, are we officially about to wake the winds? Do not feel limited to only buying it. Once you have it, feel free to stock up on anything. Immediately. I want to run around. Okay, I'll look for cough drops. Washcloth. We made it. Sorry about the thunking. I have these, they're little suckers. I want strawberry, please. These don't look like a good color anymore. Actually, I mean, they're probably fine. March 2025. Oh, that's totally fair. Is it grating on the ears? It tastes fine. Oh, that's very nice. I don't think it's gonna do anything, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna minimize talking. Try not to enjoy it too much, okay? It's medicine. Oh my god. I'm not gonna eat them. I don't know, I can't really tell. But I don't know those white specks. Influencer hand. Ah! Oh, thank you, honey. Take your damn time, I guess. It's okay, don't worry about it. Thank you, honey. Eat them. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Nah, I just won't. You're just gonna have to deal with it. This music, bruh. Absolutely slaps. It's really good. You had to poke her little face up there. That's what I was thinking too. It should be fine, right? I don't remember what these used to look like. Yeah, I could totally get some cough drops. I have to get gas. Do you fucking see how expensive gas is? Oh, I have my sword. You guys better watch out. Here for money and money only. Yeah, you're code word. Hey, girlies. I guess. What's the matter, mister? Why are you looking at us like we're aliens? Huh? We're good girls. Okay. Isn't your friend somewhere in here? I think I need a bomb. No, fuck. My bad. You good, kid? To fetch a pail of water. Sorry, he told me to do what? I wanna shimmy. Yeah, I bet you do hear about it. Whoops, sorry about it. Oh, God. Never mind. Okay, don't worry about it. You stay there. I don't want it. I was coming home from work and I was like, bro, why is it $5? He needs. So, hi. Young boy here, please help me. My tale of woe. I can't. Ooh, my sweet daughter. My only daughter, poor Maggie. She was captured by a bunch of villains and taken to the Forsaken Fortress. What on earth could those scoundrels want with her? Are they just roaming around looking for young maidens? Or are they evil creatures who delight in mischief? It's not the same thing. Well, crud. Having a kidnapped daughter doesn't get you one single ruby. Please save my poor daughter. I'm begging. Okay. Tis a peaceful place, this here island. The people here would even dream of leaving their little paradise and setting sail on a voyage at sea. Know what I mean? Full of faces. Yuck. Has no one else set out on the Great Sea? Well, I don't know. The character designs are always so interesting in these games. Why do they do this? Why? You say you set out for sail on a boat? You're kidding. A guy who makes his living off an island would give away sailing gear. That's a good point. I guess I'm asking around. Okay, fair. So, I'm feeling pretty good. Why? Because I recently got myself a pet pig. 3, in fact. Right, Fizzy? Can't stop worrying about these little guys. Totally fair. You're a good mama. Oh my god, this music. It's so good. I love the Zelda music. If you could indulge me for a moment, please admit that I'm looking fine. By looking this fine would have won me the Miss Windfall crown way back when. I'm still looking better than all the younger girls. All the kids on the island. Oh yeah, little moody kid. I'm looking for a sale, I have no idea. So shove off, will ya? Those are cute, those are cute. Drop anchor somewhere else. I'm stealing that. She is so saucy, isn't she? Might as well. Might as well, that's so right. Can't believe she's a school teacher. Rumor has it she has a mountain of tacky pendants and earrings. Hey, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly, you little loser. Sorry. Haven't seen you around here. I guess you're new to Windfall. But don't you know it's bad to eavesdrop on conversations meant only for adult ears? We're discussing very, very important topics that kids just wouldn't understand. Far too young. Sorry. I'm looking for a sale. Hey there, boy. Did you happen to see the post box? Well, just so you know, if you want to send someone... Oh, okay. love this guy. My story is a strange one. I came across the cursed seas from a land far away. Dear me, as I traveled, a terrible storm descended upon and tore my ship to bits. Yet mysteriously, only that escaped without a mark. That's so true. Could you not purchase that for me? Oh, wait, what do you have? Is it a sale? It is, it's a sale. Yeah, that's good. I'm sure I could haggle the price, but I don't need to. Oh, you were talking to Pizzy. Honey's just not good. Well, young master, as promised, take that. Good purchase. And you saved my life and business. Treasure it dearly. Thank you. Coffee shop. Yeah, it is kind of silly to yell at an employee when you should be taking it to the Senate. You know what I mean? You should be yelling at the governor. You should be yelling at, yeah, no. Who you should be yelling at. Oh, yuck. This town is our turf. The famous killer bees. Don't mess with us. Buzz. Welcome to Miss Marie's School of Joy. I don't think I've ever seen your face around here before. Do you want anything? We need to talk. I know I may look a little bit flashy for a teacher, but I assure you I am one. 20 years. Children of this island about pure joy, true joy. But I'd rather have joyless problem. I have a rather joyless problem. So the kids are a problem. If you're reading along. You want me to beat him up? Okay. He did seem a little stuck up, I'll be honest. I think this starts like a whole like thing that you have to do. Yeah. Yo, bud. Ow. I know. Oh, those that's cute. I love looking at emotes. Oh my god, those are so cute. I don't think they would listen to a chump like me. But I'll tell you what, bud. If you want to challenge us to a competition, then we'll think maybe about listening a little bit. Yeah. That defined all of you. I do. I think that's what this is. Your funeral, bud. These rules are simple. I'm gonna hide somewhere. Okay. Got it. How much time do I have? It's kind of nerve-wracking. It's fine. I kind of remember. Oh. Majora's Mask who? I know, that's what I was thinking too. That's not it. I am so fully and wholly absorbed in my dancing that I didn't even notice old you standing there. I am taught. Long ago, I met this delightful little guy who performed the most dazzling magic dance. I know, you're so right. I do hate being told what to do. And every time you tell me what to do, my bit rate drops. Kidding, it's fine. I will. I'll give him the sale. I'll catch these kids, and then I'll just come back tomorrow. No. Is it on here? So they won't hide inside. Oh my god. No, literally, heck off. I know, I appreciate that. No, sorry. I thought you were the kid. Also, yeah, because I know it's not pleasant to listen to, so. Christ, he's fast. No, God, fuck. No. Okay, bye. I don't know what he said, sorry. Oh my. Ma'am, grab him. Hey, okay. Yar, you got me. Brat. Way. Is there one? Ooh. It's a pig. Okay. Yeah, you stay there. Sorry, what did you say? Okay. Okay. I'm feeling better. So they won't hide inside. And where the heck did everyone go? I suppose that's for me to figure out. Where are they? Oh, damn. Well, what do you think about my outfit? You're right, they're pretty cute. She can put jars on her head and walk around. That's funny. Huh. Well, I found the leader. Hi, Tag. Oh my gosh, hi. How are you doing? I'm a little bit sick. But I'm okay. Well, damn. Ew, I hear him every time he sees me. Thank Lord this is not timed. You're off. You're tired. Oh, yuck. 5 hours earlier? That sounds awful. That's nice to have tomorrow off. I knew it. I knew there was a kid back here. I knew it. Oh, bro. You start nail school on Monday and you don't want to get sick. You gotta get away from him. Oh, I'm climbing. I know my fiance was like, please get away from me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Aha. Remember to sleep and drink. I will take a good nap in a little bit. Man, dude, but are you at work right now, Tag? You have to wait to go sleep. Aw, lame. Tell me where your friends are, please. Sorry, I'm playing. Yeah, I remember those two kids, where they were hiding. No, it is. It is. It's not intentional, no, but it just keeps happening. Bye, Gmail. See ya. Yeah, it's been kind of choppy lately. I've already been up here. I'm streaming at a 2000 bit rate though, so and it's still bad. It is, isn't it? I like it. Huh. All right, where is these kids? Where are these children at?
Can I have a this?
Bruh, I'm using this. Yeah, Spectrum sucks. Girl, get the fuck out! You're gonna kill me. Once behind the. Oh, thanks. What a little brat. I didn't even see him up here. You dork. I'm on it. Is it actually smooth for you, Krager? God damn it, woman. Thanks. Here, let go. Now you can have it. Ah! Am I in his way? Yeah. It's random. Surprised to see me? You got Silver to thank for that. I didn't know where you were. Hidden? No, no. Did you say something bad? Oh, little fucker. You got it? Sora! Can I use my sword? Aha, there we go. Sure. We made it to Windfall, yay. It is, it's so good. Look at it. He said a windmill. No, please get away from me. Fuck, I'm stuck. I'm sick. I know it sounds awful. Oh, what is it? Happy Friday Eve. That's so cute. Oh, yes. Tag is speaking a different language. Happy that as well to you. I know. I love Red Dead. Alright, so back up here. Fuck off, sir. The good news is it's not painful. It sounds awful, but it's not awful. A Homelander mod in Saint Denis? Why? Keep that man away. I don't think this is where I need to go. What the As long as Krager didn't get it, I don't care. Oh, Christ. Okay, good. Okay. Again, I love that people that know stuff like this. German second. Oh, dude, no way, actually. A Walpurgisnacht is a Germany's second Halloween. The hell is anyone? What the hell? Ah, you turned it off, kid, probably. No, he's right there. We got him. We got him, Silver. Thank you. It's all good. I don't know, kid. This one's so cute. I like it. It's like a little goth kid. Look like a blueberry. If I were to squish ya. I don't want to. I'm just saying. No, fuck off. I know, I love it here. I always come back here. It's a Christian holiday celebrated in many places, not just Germany. But Zora, you spoke German back. What the heck? Oh my god. Focus on the kid. I like that the roll button is also the talk button. Oh, very cool. Saint Walburg's Night. You would not want to live here. That's totally fair. Phew, thank you for standing in his way. You're awesome. When does it fall on the calendar? Oh yeah, living on a tiny ass island like this? No thanks. Whoa. Yeah. It's any time that streamer bot has to do some work. I don't think it likes that. Or like, yeah, I don't know. It is dropping. It is. Okay, well, I found the kids, which is what I said I was gonna do. That's very cool. Thanks for telling me. I'm gonna go back to her. Bum, bum, bum. Did it. She watched it all the way from the shadow of my door. Hell yeah. Don't tell anybody. Okay, and then I'll go back to the, our boy. Uh-huh. Is it? Got the Moonies. That's why I thought I needed to give her something. Mm. Yo, where are their parents? That's what I'm saying. All right. Ew, God, I don't like that they're on me, dude. Go away. They are skipping to little brats. They're the only kids here. These ones too. Okay. No, it's the 90s. Yeah, times were different. I know. All right, yeah, we're dropping frame. I'm just gonna end for the day. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, fuck, Gmail. Bye. Welcome back. See ya. It's showing red, but it's not that bad. Okay, kind of. I'm gonna go rest the old voice. The NDL stream. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, we're gonna start losing frames. Bye. Rest as well. I hope you guys, anyone who needs to sleep, I hope you get some sleep. I always wonder if I should raid out. I don't know if anyone, like, wants to just go do whatever they need to do. Thanks, Craig girl. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Let me see if anyone's streaming. You can always leave if you want to. That's totally fine. Okay. There you go. You copy that. We're gonna rate someone who has no idea. Anyway, again, I appreciate everyone being here. Have a good day. Hey, don't look at the damn screen, Jimbo. Let me copy that too. Alright, bye. Let me switch this other scene. Bye. I think you can still hear me on this scene. Hi. His face is so funny. Here we are. Alright, I just rated. Okay. Hello, anyone? Jimbo's Jimbo's in a meeting. Alright, see ya. Hold on, don't close it. Yeah. Everything's in my damn way. Isn't that funny? He was making that face. Alright, bye. Sorry.